as you guys know, when you guys signed our contract, right, we provide 7 to 25 leads, right? Now, hold on a second, Joe. Help me out here.
You caught me off guard. Yes.
Yeah. Can you go and check and see how many leads the Sheehans got last month?
No,
hold on. Don't say anything. Wait, Mark, don't say anything.
909 total leads
for this year.
Well, yeah, because if we start in January, that's 52, and then it goes. July was 289.
Go get Alex. Bring him in here. Hold on. This will make Alex's day. His blood pressure will go down. Come around here. All right. Hey, wait a minute. So, Mark, say what you just said. I want you to say what you just said about what you're telling Rick.
We've had to, the last month or so, ask Rick to turn the leads off because there's too many.
There are just too many commercial loan brokers that don't have a damn clue of what they're doing. All we're trying to do here is better the industry for everybody. At the end of the day, you can make great money in this industry, but in the end, it's all about helping people. People always say, Kris, how can I be a successful broker? It's 2 words, hard work and dedication. If you don't like talking to people, you probably shouldn't be in this business. Hey, everybody, welcome back to Entrepreneurs in Finance. This is Kris Roglieri, where we just explore the days and lives of CCTG brokers and lenders. And this episode is actually a very first. So this is the first time we're actually going to interview a husband and wife team. I am proud to present Mark and Rachel Sheehan of Commercial Capital Access. Hey, guys.
Hey.
How do you guys feel about being the first podcast of a couple? Is that cool?
I didn't even realize. Well, that's awesome.
I didn't know until you just said that.
It's great for me. Yeah, it breaks it up because it's cool interviewing 2 people at once. I would ask you where you're from, but I think it's pretty evident just by looking back at you.
Yeah, yes, we're from Texas.
Born and raised?
I'm born and raised.
I'm from Ohio, Cincinnati.
Okay. All right. Well, close enough.
Yeah.
He's lived here a long time, though.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, guys, it's so nice to see you again. It seems like a long time. But seems nice to see you. And Mark, that's one hell of a jacket you got there. I like. I like that jacket.
Yeah. I think I wore this at the training, and I think you said the same thing.
Did I really?
You wore it to the dinner we had.
I did.
You did.
Yeah, you're right.
We might send it to you.
Is that the only sport coat that you have, or do you have other good ones?
It's only one.
No. And I forgot about it until you just said that. I was like, oh, wow, he said that the last time.
That's right.
Well, you know what it is? You probably think subconsciously now when you wear that coat, you're like, man, Kris said that was a cool coat. So
Yeah.
You forgot that I asked you that doing trading.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. Well, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I know you guys are busy. You guys are cranking. Talk to me about, what did you guys do before? What was life like before CCTG?
So I've done off and on kind of stuff, but I think I told you on the class, I basically just stayed at home and raised the kids. So I just kind of took care of everything else because Mark was always working so hard. And so we were lucky to where I could be able to do that. And so that's pretty much.
Your story is fascinating because I already know a little bit about you guys, but I want to draw it out of you for our people that are watching this. Mark, what's your background? And then I'm going to get to both of you in a second.
So my background is similar to your background.
Yeah.
So I've been in finance for almost 25 years.
Huh?
Equipment side, doing equipment leasing, and I still am in the equipment leasing business.
Mm-hmm.
Commercial Capital Access is Rachel's company; she owns it. It is a certified female-owned business.
Congratulations!
So I'm a consultant. I help her answer questions. But yeah, I've spent 25 years doing leasing.
Yeah, you're definitely have a lot of clout and you're very experienced. But let me back up for a second. So who found us first?
So I did, because we were talking. We have this cookie delivery place around here, and my daughter and I are always ordering cookies. So I actually thought it'd be cheaper if maybe we could buy one, like a franchise. And so I went on to, I can't even remember what it was, like a franchise
portal.
Yeah, and you popped up, and the name caught my attention, and I started reading about it, and I was like, I took my computer and I'm like, Mark, we could do this.
All right. So wait. All right. So you tell me about that moment when, all right. So you're looking at us. You didn't tell Mark yet.
No.
But now you turn that laptop around, or you guys are eating dinner and you turn it to Mark. I want to know what Mark's reaction was in his face. What was the first thing he said when you kind of
he was just like, let me check into it. Let me look into it. Let me make sure, and he started looking at it because I had noticed one of your points was equipment financing, which is what he did. And I was like, see, and he's like, yeah, and he's like, well, what about the cookie thing? I go, well, they're not franchised. So, I just was like, we need to start trying to look into this. And so then he started looking into it.
Well, and my response was, I already do this.
Yeah.
Right.
Why would I want to do it for somebody else? And she's like, well, no, I'll do it. And then I immediately thought, okay, you've never done any financing in your life. And I said that. She goes, well, that's the best part is you can help me.
Right.
I can leverage your experience and I can do this. And I got to be honest, it's worked out pretty well. I still have my full-time job and she does this. And, we've had some ups and downs in the first year, but we're starting to really
starting to roll.
Yeah. No, I absolutely. So again, though, Mark, were you sitting there going, wow, she was never interested in what I do all these years. And now all of a sudden she's interested in finance. Like, what the hell happened?
And I just figured that I had listened to him so much that I just knew more about it than I really thought I did.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
And so listening to him. And I do go to him for questions, but I text y'all quite a bit. That was what I still need to have some stuff answered because I haven't been doing it as long.
And so I remember you guys both attended training, which I absolutely recommend for everybody. I mean, if you have a spouse, even if the spouse is not involved in the business, I always recommend come to training because think about how hard it would have been to explain to Mark what happened in the training if Mark didn't attend, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I thought that was a great experience. We made friends. Yeah. We had fun.
Right.
Our class was a little bit of a smaller one, I think, than most of yours. So
7.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you came in what month and year?
June of
last year.
You know what it is? June historically, because people are on vacation. That's like the first.
Yeah. And we came and it was great. We had the best time.
Yeah, we did.
We really did.
And being there and seeing all the CCTG people and going over the materials and talking to the lenders, and then after the call asking questions, that was invaluable.
It is.
And because I had done equipment financing, but real estate was new to me. I gotta be honest, I never even heard of an MCA. I've been in this business. I haven't been in all of those facets. So really good. Yeah.
So it had to give you a whole new perspective on how to look at the business because here you were, you're an expert at equipment leasing and you were kind of focused, but then when you realized there's all these other opportunities, that had to open up your mind.
Oh, it did. And that was part of the appeal. Like you said, when she first told me about it, and I'm looking into it, and I read your website, videos for days.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, I didn't know you could do all this stuff. And I worked with banks that could do a lot of that stuff. But, it's a niche area, some of those things. You have a lot of lenders. Like I said, when we did the training, you gave us the foundation, you gave us all the parts to build it. It was us to go build it after that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We knew it was going to take a while. And I knew with Rachel coming in almost virtually cold, it was going to take a little longer than maybe some people.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a little different than a cookie business.
Yeah. So that was my first reaction. I go, what about the cookies again?
Well, you're probably a lot thinner as opposed to
exactly.
Seeing the inventory
seeing a lot thinner.
Yeah.
So, what's fascinating to me is that it's a cool thing, but I guess going in together. I know it's Rachel, I know it's your thing, it was your thing originally and Mark kind of helps you out, but what's it like kind of doing a business as a couple?
It's pretty fun. I mean, he's been working out of the house forever. So I didn't have to go through that whole thing. Because I know a lot of people are like, oh, I've never worked with my spouse before and we're all together. So I kind of had that part good. But we work well together. I can ask him pretty much anything and he'll help me, or I text you guys. And then it's been pretty easy for us.
Yeah.
We're pretty used to each other. But and then now that COVID is around, we can't help but to be in the same room every day.
I mean, you guys are still alive. I mean, you haven't killed each other.
We are. Hey.
And we have 2 separate offices,
right?
With
good point
and everything, and
so wise.
Yeah, she's in one part of the house, and we work out of the house right now because that's just what works out well for us.
Yeah.
Well, we have to now.
Yeah. And but yeah, she has a question. She can come down and ask me. Come down. I mean, it's a 30.
I'm down the hallway.
20-foot walk. She can walk the whole 20 feet.
And our daughter and son have started helping us because my daughter is in Houston. And so she can kind of do any leads that are from kind of more that area instead of Dallas. I kind of give them to her because if need be, she can go see them or call them, and she's just right there.
I got a suggestion. Why don't you have your children sit through a webinar? One of our They would
love it. They would love it. They're very, very interested in it. We've brought them in when we need help. If I need help, calling leads, and especially with the PPP, I need it. I brought my daughter up here for 3 weeks. I'm like, you got to help me.
Yeah.
So it's busy and they're very interested in it. So it's something I feel like they take an interest in, and they can do it themselves as well.
I mean, tell me, what's the secret? What's the secret to being a married couple, waking up next to each other, going to bed with each other, working with one another? What's that secret? Do you guys?
A long time ago, we used to not be so good at it. And we decided when we were younger that we needed to leave work at work. So like when the day is done, and now it gets done about 5. And then we there's no more work. We go out in the pool. It's hot. We drink beer, a lot of beer. And then we sit outside till about it gets dark. And I mean, we kind of have that time where it's separate, because we are together a lot, personal and business wise. So we kind of learned a long time ago that you have to separate it and not go into the other territory with work.
Right.
That's my opinion. I mean, don't you think?
And this sounds maybe almost dumb, but we get along. I mean, we really get along. And people always say to us, every time we see you, you're together. Yeah. So it's really an extension of our normal life, because we're always doing stuff together.
We've always been best friends.
Yeah.
Like when we first met, we were best friends, kind of.
How'd you guys meet? Who made the first move, Mark or you?
Through a mutual friend introduced us.
I was much more aggressive actually than he was, believe it or not. Yeah, and he was older than I am. So
he was wearing the same sport coat, was he?
No, it was a little different one then. I'm thinking about going to change here pretty soon.
You're welcome to change, Mark, and come on back. Yeah.
My roommate in college actually was friends
with a roommate of mine.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
My boyfriend was somehow, but yeah. We met like that. We went on a blind date, I guess, sort of thing.
Yeah. Blind date. Wow. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, so then, all right, let's go back. You went through training, you went home. Tell me about, tell me about your first 6 months. And I like to talk about some of the failures, right? Because it's easy to talk about the successes, and I'll get to that. But what were some things that you guys got into, some of the ruts you got into that looking back now, you're like, oh yeah, okay.
So when we got back, we had told you up there in the class, you had to try to focus on a couple of things. So we got home, and Mark kind of took the real estate, the commercial real estate really interests him.
Yeah.
So I was more doing the business loans, the MCAs and that kind of thing. And so we kind of did 2 things separately. Don't you think? Like all the real estate went to you, and anything else?
Yeah, I'd help on that.
Yeah.
So to me, our mistake was, you said to focus on 2 or 3 things. Yeah. So we focused on 6 or 8.
Yeah. it just kind of felt like that, where it was
Yeah.
like, well, you know, I'll do
You know
that.
what? I gotta say this. It's just like a Texan. You're always trying to do big things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're trying to make our mark in the world, you know.
Like, Chris doesn't know. We'll do 6th grade.
So anything, it was, you know, we were trying to do too much, I think, at once.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
And so,
Which I see it's easy to do that because everything's exciting and you want to try to do everything.
Right.
But you know, so then you at some point you realize, holy shit, we gotta try to like kind of retool and refocus, I would think, right?
I think, to be honest, we started to, when the coronavirus hit in March, we were sitting there and I was just like almost devastated on the inside, because I'm like, oh my God, you know, because I was trying to do some fix and flips, and that they were all closing down and emailing
down temporarily. Yeah.
I was just thinking, of course, I was watching the news and stuff, and I'm like, PPP loans. Okay, I guess I could do that, right? It's pretty simplistic. I need to find somebody, you know, some of the lenders y'all gave us to do. And so I thought, if I have that set up, then it just seems like maybe if we marketed, hey, we do these, then it would be something that we could do at least for a couple of months.
Right.
And so that's kind of when I did that. And again, I brought my daughter up, and we kind of got everything in place, and we told y'all, you know, hey, we want to focus on the pay-per-clicks for PPP. Yeah. And so we did that. And then before the PPP even came out, maybe 2 weeks before, I already had probably 50 people that were waiting for one. So I literally was waiting on the bill to pass, and I already had 50 people that had already
prepared. You were prepared.
Yeah. I was. And then ever since then, it's been cool, because I am now going back to those same people, because I know that probably wasn't enough money for them at the time. And I'm getting them SBA 7A loans now.
Yeah. And, you know, I've been talking to other grads about that. Like, you know, the PPP was a Band-Aid, but now that it's kind of run out, it is coming back.
Yes, I know.
But now that it's run out, or it's, you know, people have exhausted it, they still need capital to continue on to survive, and in some pockets grow, right?
And I realized that when I was looking at the people's finances that were coming in, I'm like, this is only really truly going to help them for about a month or so, because they're just I knew they were going to need future help. And so that they also became like a future customer for SBA loans, or a couple of them have done working capital loans and stuff.
And you know, I usually ask this in the beginning, but we got on a roll here. What package did you purchase with CCTG?
The platinum.
The platinum.
Platinum package. Okay. And that comes with leads, correct?
Yeah.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
So let me just, you know, as you guys know, when you guys signed our contract, right, we provide 7 to 25 leads, right? Now, hold on a second, Joe. Help me out here.
You caught me off guard. Yes.
Yeah. Can you go and check and see how many leads the Sheehans got last month?
Hold on.
Don't say anything. Wait, Mark, don't say anything. Can you check real quick?
I'm getting it.
Hold on.
Okay,
Mark, don't say anything, Mark.
I just want to make, I don't know.
Log into the system.
I'm here.
All right.
I'm just making sure this is right. Okay, so, well, right now, hold on. Let me just ask Alex one thing. He's saying there's a total. This is an overall total here. 909 total leads
for this year.
Well, yeah, because if we start in January, that's 52, and then it goes. July was 289.
We're rolling. We were.
To say the least, guys, I think we over deliver a little.
I got to be honest.
Mark's like, there's too many.
I email Rick and say, turn them off.
Wait a minute. Listen, everything's always bigger in Texas, man.
I said my daughter can't handle it all. You turn them off. So
yeah, I do like that. We do, like, when we need more, we tell you, and then when we need to slow down.
Yeah.
I mean, Rachel's got several SBA loans that
are closing in the next few months.
She gets funded on one tomorrow, which is
a big one.
A very nice paycheck.
Okay.
Have it kind of.
Hold on 1 second, guys. Go get Alex. Bring him in here. Hold on. Come here, Alex. We're live on air. Come here. You got to come in back here because You got to hear that. I know you want to hear this. This will make Alex's day. His blood pressure will go down. Come around here. All right. Hey, wait a minute. So, Mark, say what you just said. I want you to say what you just said about, what you're telling Rick.
We've had to, the last month or so, ask Rick to turn the leaves off because there's too many.
Yeah. What I tell you,
Getting, like, we get like 25 or 30 a day.
well, like I said before on our call,
hire somebody. That's what you said. Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
And I mean,
everybody beats up on Alex. I know. I mean, listen, but like that's gonna make his day that you said that we're producing too many leads.
Yeah, it definitely does. It makes sure that the team's doing a great job for you guys and everybody's happy.
Yeah.
And Rick's been great because before the Corona, I mean, we kind of tried different things, and we were doing fix and flips and real estate, and Rachel closed some of those.
It was starting to pick up.
We did like $3 or $4 million in bridge loans, stuff that we were looking for. So we were getting the leads that we were wanting to do, and it was really good. And then, like Rachel said, when the COVID hit, 2 weeks before it was really coming out, she called up Rick and said, I want to do these, whatever the PPP is. And he turned it on, and that was awesome. And then when that was over with, we talked to Rick. He said, well, why don't you guys try SBA loans? Like, okay, turn them on.
And that's the thing.
The door.
When we were sitting in class with Kris, I was like, I don't know how anyone could ever do SBA loans. I would never do that.
Yeah.
That just seems, And so now it's like all we're doing, really.
I mean, $5 million, $10 million.
I wanted Alex to hear this. Just it's gonna make his day today. So.
Oh, it's been awesome.
You're doing a great job, Alex.
I'll also let Rick know, and we'll be in touch for sure. So.
Yeah,
absolutely.
when you can add a digit,
That's a good way to end your day, huh?
guaranteed amount, I think that's pretty good.
Add a digit, yeah. Well, I just wanted to point that out for everybody listening. I mean, we definitely over-delivered on this one, right?
That's an average of 130 per month, by the way.
130 per month.
Just this year, yeah.
And well, listen, whenever we can have a Texan say, look, don't go big. Don't go big. That's a good thing. We're doing something right. Well, no, so tell me about and you brought up a good point, Rachel. You said, I'm sitting in training and I'm like, the hell with SBA. It'd take a long time. But now you kind of found a niche. And were you thinking the same thing, Mark? Like, I'm an equipment leasing, like the hell with SBA. That thing takes a long time. But
I did.
Yeah.
But it's good for Rachel because she hasn't done this before, and it's structured. And it's like, here's what I need. Check these, and she'll stay on people. She'll go after them. She knows what they need. She knows what the lenders want to do.
Yeah.
And she kind of got that from the PPP because so we had a little small bank in Oklahoma that was doing all the PPPs.
Mm-hmm.
But there was no portal.
Right.
Rachel and our daughter Sydney that were gathering information, helping these people fill out the forms.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yep.
But it was that structure of here's what I need. She
Mm-hmm.
talked to the banker. He said, give me these 5 or 8 things.
Yeah.
She liked that. Where with the fix and flips, sometimes it's a little not as structured.
Yeah.
Correct.
But she does have a big fix and flip right now. How many? How much is it?
3.5 million.
Wow. Congratulations. That's awesome.
9 properties for one person.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And now, I know you, I mean, with the Platinum, you get a ton of leads all over the country, but how would you break down, let's just talk at deals in Texas and deals outside of Texas. What's the ratio? What's the breakdown?
That's a good question. I'd have to kind of look at it. I get quite a few from Texas, and I don't know if that's just because it's a big state and there's a lot of people, or I get a lot from New York, a lot from New Jersey.
Yeah.
I get a lot from the East Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Texas and New York and New Jersey and Florida maybe are the most.
We did a small commercial loan on a warehouse down in Houston.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only real estate that we've done in Texas.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I was going to say there's a lot of stuff going on in Texas. I mean, Texas
there is
a good market. I know the oil thing kind of shook things up a little bit, with COVID. But
has. So
and you guys are out of where again?
Dallas.
Dallas. Okay, yeah.
Dallas.
Dallas is a good market.
Yeah.
Sure. And I think what's important here is that it speaks to diversity. I mean, here you guys were doing one thing and then COVID hit and you had to adjust.
Right.
You had to adjust, which speaks to why you need to know all the products, but you may not. You have to go where the market is, pretty much.
Exactly.
Yeah. I
Absolutely.
mean, that is so correct. Just because now we're doing SBAs. I mean, how many SBAs do you have?
5, 4, 5, 6, maybe.
Yeah.
But they're bigger.
But they're all bigger.
But
10 million, 5 million, 5. I mean,
Awesome.
Really big ones. And it's been
what's cranking right now is the USDA. The USDA programs, particularly the lender that we have, they're cranking hard. I just interviewed actually one of the founders of that company.
Okay.
Do you guys ever have like competitions, like who can close the most deals in a month? I mean, I know Mark's doing his thing with leasing, but like, you guys you don't have a board up there, like.
No? So here's very well what could happen. Again, I do okay. Where I work, Rachel very well can make more money than me this year.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah.
So, I had the highest commission so far.
Yeah, she's got the high. She reminded me that she got the highest commission.
That's cool. What is that? If I may ask, what's the highest commission you've earned so far?
It was 49,000.
Wow.
Okay. 49,000.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, it was good, especially with.
Yeah, you get one tomorrow.
I get one tomorrow for 84,000.
84?
Yeah.
Jesus. Wow.
So we're doing good.
She probably did about 75,000 fees with PPP.
Yeah. Okay.
That turned out to be good.
Yeah.
That turned out to be. It was busy, but it was good.
She's got another kind of 80,000+ SBA that's in the final approval process.
Okay.
So
congratulations, guys. That's awesome.
You. Yeah. The leads for the SBA have been excellent, I will tell you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
What's interesting is we did that before COVID. When we first started, we did SBA, and it just, and they were like, called up Rick, we don't want to do SBAs. Why do you keep sending us SBAs? This didn't work.
Driving Rick nuts.
Yeah. Poor Rick.
But now they're phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're phenomenal.
I mean, I think you're in general, and I say this in a good way, where there's opportunity, where there's crisis, there's opportunity, right?
Right.
COVID hit, and we're seeing all these opportunities that are happening. And I think just in general, I mean, we saw our lead count, our marketing team saw the amount of, we have the data, and I would ask Alex, but he left for today, but we saw the data jump by like 300% to 400% of the amount of search volume of people looking for capital online, particularly when COVID hit, right? Because if you think about it, a lot of banks shut down. I mean, I know here, even for me to do a transaction, and we got a lot of companies, and I mean, it took like 2 days just to make an appointment at a bank. You couldn't walk in, and we're still seeing that. I mean, people are just online because, I mean, the demand has gone through the roof.
Right.
And so I think maybe that's why you're seeing that. And I don't think it's going to stop. I think until we get under control and there's a vaccine and everybody kind of calms down, I think you're still going to see this activity, which is, for the position we're in and you're in, it's a good thing.
Right.
It is good.
Absolutely.
It is good.
Yeah.
And again, that's the beauty of the program is there's enough different lenders, different types of lending that we were able to pivot.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Right. It wasn't just one focus.
We'd like to get back doing the fix and flips. And I know that's starting to come back. And
come back.
We want to see the real estate. That's starting lenders. I got a couple emails in the last week that said, hey, we're lending again.
Right. Yeah, that's good. No, we've been staying on track of it. Have you guys added anybody to your team, or is it just you two guys so far?
No, it's really Rachel and our daughter.
Okay.
A little bit. So we got an interesting call about a month ago from a call center in India.
Mm-hmm.
The guy wanted to do leads for us.
Mm-hmm.
He has 24 people. He said his business is slow. He's trying to supplement it. And he's just doing MCAs at this point. So he started generating some leads. It's a little slow, but he's doing it. We had a couple of people that we brought on. You don't bring them on as employees, but 1099s.
Yeah, independent contractors.
Yeah, they sent a few deals, but nothing ever materialized.
Okay. All right.
So we haven't yet.
Yeah. Okay.
But if Rachel can make well into the six figures,
why bring somebody else on?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
But we're not opposed to it.
Right.
Yeah. We were just trying to see what the market was going to do after the PPPs. We were just.
Yeah.
I will tell you this though. My advice would be right now, I think is a good time if you're going to bring on somebody because I think there's a lot of misplaced talented individuals, particularly that have experience in banking and business banking. So I think there's a lot of people that are possibly out there that you can pick from in the talent pool that would be attracted to the model.
Right. And it's a good idea. I mean, particularly now that a lot of lenders are starting to get back into the market, so you can
Right.
Absolutely. What's one thing that you hate about the business? I know there's things you love, but what I always say, what sucks about this business?
Because we're honest people. We like to do it. We have fun at it, and we don't try to. So I think sometimes brokers, maybe like you told us in the class, they have like a bad reputation.
Oh, broker chains and all that bullshit.
Yeah. And so sometimes if you call and they know you're a broker or what have you, it's like, oh, and it's like, no, but I'm just really trying to help. I'm not, So I guess that going in bothers me because I feel like we're trying to do the best thing for that, right?
And I don't know why, but brokers seem to find us and they, and then they'll complain, well, that's too expensive.
It's like,
well, you couldn't find anybody.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why you got to us, And who's it too expensive for, you or your customer?
Yeah.
Welcome to the world of dealing with pain in the asses. I mean, that's our world. I mean, with brokers, if you're going to take deals from brokers, because you know what the problem is? You guys are spoiled. I hate to say it. You're spoiled. You actually went through a training. I'm going to tout it. We do it the right way. We teach ethics. We do this. And the rest of the world out there doesn't have that. And so you could be dealing with who the hell knows who you're dealing with. And they have no frame of reference of how to conduct themselves. You know what I mean?
I agree.
I told you during the training, Kris, you don't charge enough money for this. It's way more valuable than what you're charging.
Yeah,
no, I appreciate that, but I mean, the rest of the world out there doesn't realize that,
Yeah, it is.
What happened, what you get at least when you come here. What are some things that are on the horizon for you guys? Like, do you have any huge plans coming up in terms of the business? Are you?
We have access to a fund.
Okay.
That has a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to do really big deals. And I'm part of a small team that got invited in to this fund. And that's, I was hoping I could pick your brain at some point on, deals starting at $100 million.
Okay.
And their preference is deals that have a B in them, as in a billion.
Okay.
It's really
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a whole different realm.
Yeah, it usually is.
Not a small balance anymore.
No, I know. I mean, my lesson with that is the largest deal I ever closed was a little over $500 million. And it was a resort down in Punta Cana. And that took about 9 months to put together because it was several different layers of capital. It wasn't just debt, it was equity, a little bit of mezz debt in there. And it was a nightmare. I mean, it felt like 10 years, 9 months, but in the end, it was worth it. Absolutely. But, when you deal in that range, it's interesting to say the least.
Yeah.
A lot of details.
A lot of details.
Yeah. So we have that, and it's a real estate play.
Yeah.
They do some other stuff. We
Uh-huh.
want to get back into the fix and flips, and we want to do
Yeah.
bridge loans. I like bridge loans because they're pretty quick and fast and easy. Nothing's easy, but they're easier. We want to do we had a great pipeline.
It was starting to really pick up with that.
And I can tell you right now, it is picking up. I mean, we have some superstar graduates. If you caught the first two, Bennett Abel and Tim Maloney, actually, those guys are the highest producing brokers for the lender that you know of that we give you here. I mean, they're the highest out of all of the company, not just through CCTG, but out of every broker they deal with, they're the highest producing one. So, and when I interviewed them, they're back in full swing. I mean, so things in that arena, things are definitely picking up.
Bennett was one of the references I talked to before we actually signed up for the class.
Okay. Yeah.
And then we did watch his podcast.
Yeah.
Podcast. Yeah. He's cranking. He's definitely cranking. I'm going to get into some quirky stuff here now.
Okay.
Some quirky stuff. So if you could sit down with anybody, dead or alive, and take 2 hours of their time, who would it be? I'll ask each of you that.
Jesus.
You know what?
I have a lot of stuff I need to
answer.
Yes.
That is one hell of an answer. And if you think about it, I mean, shit, you could ask anything.
I could ask so much stuff. I could also ask for a little bit of forgiveness, and then I just feel like I would love to.
Yeah.
And he drank wine, so we would obviously hit it off. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, that's a great answer. What about you, Mark?
So I'm a sports guy.
Uh-huh.
Somebody like a Muhammad Ali or somebody like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It would be cool, just what he went through, what he did.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of documentaries on him. I think that would be cool.
That'd be cool. All right. Awesome. What motivates you? What really motivates you to get down? Because as you know, this business takes hard work. It's not just you sit back, collect checks. It takes hard work. But what really motivates you? At the end of the day?
I just like to have money in the bank. I don't have to worry about anything. We've got 2 kids in college, so they need money all the time. I just like that feeling of comfort to where I don't have to worry about every time, we buy them something or buy somebody else something.
Sure.
We have a nice house. We have all that. I just want to just not have to worry about it.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Mark?
I would tell you, Rachel she also gets a lot of satisfaction out of helping people.
I do.
Uh-huh.
She'll get an email, "You're the best. I couldn't get a PPP loan from anybody else, and you helped me out." And she'll come in and say, "Look at this email that I got." And she just, and on the other side of it, if she can't, she takes it personal. She feels bad. She actually had a lady who got a PPP loan from somebody else send her a little gift basket and say,
wow,
"You did so much to help me out. I wish I would have got the loan through you, but it worked out. I got it through somebody else, but I really appreciate your efforts."
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah. Me, it may be shallow, but it's making money. It's making money.
Yeah, I get it, man. No, I get it. I absolutely get it.
Yeah.
You
do this.
Yeah.
I'm not curing cancer. I'm helping people get money, and in turn, I get paid for doing that.
You get paid for doing it, yeah, and that's rewarding in itself, though. I mean, you're working hard. For sure.
Again, sports back. It's competitive.
Yeah.
It's the checks. That's how you win the game.
That's how you win the game. Absolutely.
You pay for winning. You don't for losing.
Right. There's no second place in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always said a long time ago, you never get paid for second.
No, you don't. No one remembers the second.
Yeah, not this business.
No. All right. Well, listen. Now's your chance to kind of ask me anything. Nothing. I mean, what would you like to know? Personal, business, doesn't matter.
So one of the things we talked about. So you recently added MCAs to your portfolio type of loans that you could do.
What we do, yeah. What we fund directly, yeah.
Yeah, we've done that. We've got one.
Actually, we sent you a check.
Yeah. So we really like that. You gotta be honest. You've been the best MCA that we've.
I love Gary.
Yeah,
Gary's a great ass. Yeah, we interviewed him on here too.
Yeah.
And
Gary's cool.
that's somebody I lean on to help me because I didn't know MCAs that well. I mean, or, because I didn't really do that many of them. And he helps because I'm like, I'll send him a few things and he'll tell me exactly. He's very patient.
Yeah.
You know what the beautiful thing about Gary is for me is that I've known Gary a long time. He's been with different lenders. He's really an MCA guy. He worked for MCA lenders, but Gary used to be a broker. So he knows. So it was a perfect fit. When we started funding MCAs directly, I went to Gary and I'm like, this is the perfect guy to work with our graduates because we get a lot of business from graduates. Because he understands what you guys are going through because he's been there as a broker, but he's an expert on the MCA side and particularly our products. So it made sense.
So what's next on the horizon for Prime?
Well, I'm going to further that with the MCA. We're really looking to expand and funding cannabis, the cannabis industry.
Okay.
There's not a lot of people who do it.
Right.
And listen, I don't smoke it. I don't care. I mean, but for me, it's an industry that's going to get bigger. I mean, states are going to legalize it. There's a bunch that already have, and it's a sector that is very tough for lending, but we kind of figured it out in the working capital space. So we're looking to expand that product into like a mainstream thing for us.
Okay.
Yeah. And you guys are in good hands because Gary, I mean, you guys can still work with Gary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And my daughter, who's obviously new to everything, she didn't even know what an MCA was, and she keeps getting them. And so he's very patient with her and he helps her, and she likes working with him because sometimes other lenders aren't as
patient.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, there's certain ones that have different tolerance levels.
Even if it's something you can't do, she's like, can I just please send it to Gary?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess you could ask.
SBA loan, send it to Gary.
Yeah.
Any kind of loan, send it to Gary.
What else, guys? What else?
What do we want to ask personally about him? I don't know.
So we know you race cars.
I do.
How'd you get into that?
So, growing up, my father, he didn't really make a lot of money. I mean, I came from a very low income background. But growing up, my father did a lot of things to try to put food on the table. And one of the things when I was probably 6, 7 years old was he opened up like a little small used car dealership, right?
Oh.
He was a hustler. He hustled. He did a lot of different things. And, what was great, that's what exposed me to cars, because as a little boy, my parents split up when I was young. And I stayed with my dad a lot of the times. And so he would pick me up from school with like a different car every day. And it was the coolest thing, right? Because like most kids, when you're young, you're like, Dad, meet me at like 3 corners up. I don't want anybody to see me, or drop me off. But I was the opposite. I used to say, Dad, can you drop me off at the mall? Can you do this? Because he had like these cool, they weren't like Lamborghinis or Ferraris, but they were just cool, different cars. And so that's where my fascination with cars kind of really, really developed. And now, obviously I'm fortunate enough to make it a hobby. And, I equate kind of doing amateur racing with cars to even business. It's a competitive sport, right? And I always tell a lot of like graduates, I go, this business is like you have to develop your instinct, right? So you're going to fail at some things, but you learn and you get a better instinct on what deals to do, where to put your time into certain deals, what deals to say no on. And you only get better at doing that as seeing more deals.
Right.
Same thing with racing, right? To lower your time around a track, you got to have what we call seat time. The more time you spend in that car, right, the quicker you're gonna. It's like or golf, right? I mean, the more you take a swing, you're gonna hopefully lower your score. So I just love it because it's you and a machine, and you have to work together to try to get a lower time, and you have total control. And people don't realize when you race cars, it's exhausting. I don't know if you've ever raced a car on a track before, but it's mentally exhausting. And most people, if they've never done it before and they get on a track, after 2-3 laps, they're exhausted because it's so mental, right? It's so mental. And I have great admiration for some of the greats like Lewis Hamilton, the F1 driver. I mean, to sit there and go that fast around and do it for hours is like incredible. So, yeah. I mean, so that's my love really happened. My father kind of exposed me to like cars, and I fell in love with it. And now I get to enjoy the competitiveness of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you race?
There's several different ones. I mean, I've raced. I kind of have a 911 Porsche. That's more of a track car, which is kind of what you want for something like that. So I do a lot of that with that sort of track car.
Yeah. I worked at a company and a guy raced a 911 and we were going out to a dinner and it was up in the mountains, out in the Silicon Valley area, and he was racing to get to the restaurant.
Yeah. I know. I mean, I have an hour drive to and from home from the office here, and it's like a race every day. I mean, someone that comes with me, if someone comes with me, or if I'm driving somebody somewhere and like I'll tell you a quick funny story. We hired an in-house video person, Andre, who's very, very talented. And this guy worked with hip hop stars. So like he shot videos for very famous hip hop stars. And so he has a lot of credibility and he's around a lot of cool things, prior to working here. And he flies in once a month. And I took him to dinner one time. We're driving and, we get to the dinner place and it was about a half-hour drive from the office to the dinner. And I look over and he's like white as a ghost. And he's like kind of sweating. And I'm like, all right. Like, you feel okay? And he's like, he goes, you're driving. He goes, I've never driven, that fast before. And I'm like, I don't even realize it. Cause to me, it's just like fast. Like I was just driving normal. And he was like, this day, like now he's like, hey, I'll meet you there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That was my experience with this guy. I said, we get there. I was like, wow, you really drive fast. He goes, do I? I don't drive like that. Okay.
That's awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, you guys were great. I mean, I it's so good to see you again.
Yeah.
It's always good to in this venue. I would say we'll see you at NACLB, but it's virtual this year. We had to go virtual.
I was going to ask you about that.
We did. We put out a letter because you know what happened with the restrictions that Caesar Palace has right now? It was impossible because they're saying we could only fit 75 people in a room. How the hell we do that when we have close to 1,000 people come? I mean, it's but we have a virtual platform. It's going to be great. It's just going to be like you're there. It's almost like you're looking at the conference from above and you could pick to meet people and certain lenders. So we invested heavily in a platform to do it virtually, but we're back at Caesars next year. So
good.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, we'll have to try to do that. We love Vegas.
Yeah, no, I know. It's great to go out there. So, all right. Well, that's all the time we have. Again, the Sheehans, I appreciate you guys taking some time to talk to this Yankee.
No problem.
Yeah, no, I do. And you guys are great. Love you guys. And thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Take care.
All right. So guys, that wraps it up for this episode of Entrepreneurs in Finance. Stay tuned for, we're going to have weekly episodes come out of different graduates and different lenders. So we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you. There are just too many commercial loan brokers that don't have a damn clue of what they're doing. All we're trying to do here is better the industry for everybody. At the end of the day, you can make great money in this industry, but in the end, it's all about helping people. People always say, Kris, how can I be a successful broker? It's 2 words, hard work and dedication. If you don't like talking to people, you probably shouldn't be in this business.